Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Z, coming with our very first series, Raid Shadow Legends free-to-play how-to guide. In this guide, we're gonna cover everything you need to know to crush the Raid Shadow Legends scene as a free-to-play player. The first guide we're gonna start with is gonna be your first 4 days of Raid Shadow Legends, what you need to focus on, who to pick as a champion, where to spend your resources, and what to put all your time into. So without further ado, let's get into it. Follow me down here. All right, guys, let's get into it. The first thing we need to talk about is what starter champion to choose. Now, I could run you through all 4 champions, but there's no point because there's only one champion. There's only one champion to start, and I'm going to tell you why. Let me show you. This is the champion that we all have to start with is Kayle. Kayle, 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 Kayle. You're going to hear it all over the place. The reason you need to start with Kayle is because he's going to carry you into the late game the easiest. He can do all the dungeons at max level. He can do everything you want. He is the world to you because he can carry super late game. All right. The reason he can carry so far, Jesus, what is wrong with me? The reason he can carry so far into the late game is because of poison. Poison is a super strong mechanic in this game because it has damage over time against these fat bosses, and it's going to take a lot of turns to kill some of these bosses. So let's look at his poison. So first, he has poison on his basic one. He has what they have 2 types of poison, the small poison, the big poison. It's a 2.5% poison debuff for 2 turns on his basic attack, okay? Now, on his big one, he has a full 5% poison, which is the max you can get in Raid Shadow Legends right now. It's called the big poison. He gets it as an AoE on all champions, and you can book it down to 4 turns. It's a 4-turn cooldown once you finish all of these things to get it, right? And lastly, he still has an AoE, so he has 2 AoEs on him. One of which has poison, which is great against bosses, and the other one just slaps. It hits hard. It really does. It hits like a truck, okay? So that's first things first. We want to focus on our Kayle as being our main number 1. Now, for your first few days in Raid Shadow Legends, the first main focus points you are going to have, you're going to have 4 of them, okay? And it's super simple. Your main focus points are going to be missions, quests, challenges, as well as the campaign. That's it. That's all. Everything else doesn't matter. You're going to ignore dungeons. You're going to ignore faction wars. You won't even be able to do them. You're going to ignore arena, clan boss, doom tower. Now, when I say ignore, I don't mean you don't do them at all. Obviously, if you have extra time, do some arena stuff. But if you miss some arena stuff for the first few days because you're just trying to get through the other parts, that's okay. They are side extras. I always encourage everyone to get everything done that they can, but if not, that's okay. All right. Now, why do we want to focus on missions, quests, challenges, and campaign? Well, it's pretty simple. When completing the missions, quests, and challenges, we're gonna get a bunch of things that are gonna help us carry us farther into the mid game and into the late game. So things like getting gems are super valuable in Raid because you have to purchase them. So getting the max amount of gems that you can for free is huge. Okay, next we're gonna talk like sacred shards, probably the best shard in the game. You can get legendaries off of them. They're phenomenal. You can get legendary champions off of this as well as each individual task you complete. You get prizes, you get energy, you get gems, you get brews to help level up your champion, you get more shards, things like that. Super helpful, super important. So these are things that you want to make sure that you focus on. You know, and quests, we have daily, weekly, and monthly quests. So you really want to make sure you come in every day to complete all your daily quests. When you first start, it's pretty easy. It's only 4, right? Summon 3 champions, you're gonna do that no problem. Make 4 upgrades, you're gonna do that no problem, right? And beat the campaign boss 3 times, also not a big deal. As well as use 50 energy. So all those are easy. You're gonna have some achievements you can do as well. Oh, we just leveled up, nice and easy. And then on top of all that, we got weekly ones. These ones you wanna make sure you complete every week. And they're gonna yield you some pretty good stuff. Ancient shards are pretty valuable for free-to-players, as well as you can get a sacred shard every single month and a void shard every single month, and you can get some pretty fat energy buffs over here. Okay. And then challenges, same thing. You're gonna have access to things like rare tomes. You're gonna have access to more ancient shards and more rare tomes. The ancient rare tomes you'll end up getting like epic tomes and legendary tomes through this as well. You're gonna get sacred shards and void shards through this one. So main focus here. Now, I said don't focus on arena. You can work on arena, but if you don't finish these right away, there's only 3 parts to this. Don't worry about it. It's not a stress. Same thing with dungeons. You don't need to worry about these 2. We really want to focus on our champions and our artifacts for the first few days. These are the ones that are going to let us carry us the farthest and get us the most bang for our buck right off the start. Okay. Now that's your 4 main focus points. Okay. Next, let's talk about our resources. Okay, so at the top we have energy, we have arena coins, and we've got silver, and we've got gems. Okay, most valuable resource in this game has got to be energy. Energy is what lets you play the game. So if you run out of energy, you can't play the game anymore. Simple, easy. Okay, awesome. Ways to get more energy: completing these quests, the dailies. You can get energy refills. You can get 200 energy there. Completing missions will give it to you, and some challenges will give it to you as well. And lastly, you can purchase energy with gems. There's another reason why gems are very valuable in this game, because you have to pay for gems. But if you can get a good stash of gems and use them in the right way, you can get a lot of extra energy for important quests or events that come up. Like, there are some events that you can crush as a free-to-play person and get really good gear, especially in the beginning. Always got to make sure we get those timelines. Cool. So those are our resources. Now, what do you spend your gems on? My vote is energy. That's it. That's all I'm spending my gems on. Now, one exception to that. You want to get your gem mine to max level 3. The reason being is if you play this game for 100 days, you will break even on your gems. So if you're planning on playing this game for more than a little over 3 months, max out your gem farm. You're going to get way more. It's all free rolling after that. So max it out, get it rolling, get your gems, get your income coming. Especially when you're first starting the game. You don't need to use your gems on energy because you're going to have so much from leveling up. Every level is going to give you more energy. So be patient, use your gems wisely, okay? Because efficiency is key as a free-to-play player. All right. Now, silver. We want to save our silver for better stuff, for later game. We don't want to be using our silver. Now, there is an exception, and this is important. This is for the first 4 days. This is the only thing that I really want you using your silver on, other than summoning champions. This is where you're going to spend most of your silver. You're going to spend most of your silver on upgrading. Oops, not this one. You're going to spend most of your silver on upgrading. Not this one either. Jesus. On upgrading these 4 pieces of gear: your boots, your chest, your gloves, and your helmet as you get them. The reason you're going to spend it on those is the lifesteal set's a really strong set, and these sets are very good beginner sets. Okay, so I'll show you. We already got our first piece of set, so we went on to Kale. When you first start, it'll only let you upgrade it to level 8. It has +8. You can see the upgrade is +8. We have an extra bunch of stats and bonuses. Perfect. Now with these sets, ideally you want to get them to level 12. Once they're level 12, you don't really want to upgrade them anymore, because they're only 4 stars. So the rule of thumb is 4-star gear you can upgrade to level 12 and you kind of leave it. And then for 5 and 6-star gear, that's when people start to really put the money and get them to level 16, which is the max you can go in this game. So I know it's a lot of information, but that's key. That is super key to throw that in there. Okay, now the reason lifesteal set is really good on Kale, because he does AoE damage. He's going to hit everyone and he's going to gain life from everyone. So key here is he can solo brutal 12-3. The reason 12-3 is important is that is how you're going to level up all your champions. It gives you the best ratio of experience and silver in the later game, so you can get your champions up levels. Okay, now this is a big one. This is a lot of information to come through. There's 2 more things I want to talk about. One is going to be what to do with your shards when you first get them. So when you first get your shards, you want to use every single mystery shard you first get for the first 4 days, guaranteed. And you're going to want to use ancient shards, let's say the first 5 to 10, depending on how it goes. And this is where it gets a little wonky, because I don't know what you're going to pull. But once you can get yourself a solid rare team on the ancient shards, you're going to save them for the 2x events. Once a month, roughly, Polarium has 2x event chances of getting epics and legendaries, epics or legendaries, depending on what it is. Usually it's legendaries as far as I've been playing. So the key here is you want the best chance to get legendaries, and especially as a free-to-play player, so you don't want to waste that. But your first, like, let's say 5 to 10 shards, you're gonna need them to give yourself some good champions to roll with, because you're gonna want to crush it. Okay. Now your voids and your sacred shards, I purely only use them for 2x events, and that's to get the most efficiency, the best bang for my buck. That is key. Okay. So shards, spend all your green shards at the beginning, only some of your ancient shards just to get started, and then hold off on all shard spending until you get 2x events. And every time you get a 2x event, use every last shard you got. Use them. They're going to give you champions that are going to let you skyrocket, but you want to max out on the chance to get legendary champions. It's going to be super important for you. Okay. So the last thing I want to talk about on this for important information that you need to know is with your champions, you are solely going to focus on Kale first. Okay. You are just going to focus on getting him the max level, getting that first 4 pieces of gear on him, maybe leveling him up or starring him up. You can star him up all the way to 6 stars. So get him 6 stars as fast as you can. That's super important. Okay. Now, once we unlock the mechanic so you can show what to do, we'll have another series on who to grind, who to do that. But for now, focus on getting him to max level, and don't use any of your ancient champions that you get as food for him. That's pretty cool, just in case you get ahead of me. Okay, don't do it. Crap, I swear. Right? So real quick recap, guys. We want to be focusing on 4 things. We want to focus on our campaign, our missions, our quests, and our challenges. Oh, I put up 5 fingers, but I did. Those are the key things to focus on, as well as maxing out Kale. He is your loved one. He is your bae. He's your boo. You're gonna max him out. You're going to put all your effort into this man. Okay. We're gonna use all our ancient shards. We're going to use a few. We're gonna use a few of our ancient shards, all of our mystery shards, none of our void or sacred shards. That is the key for the first 4 days. Okay, guys. And don't spend your gems on anything other than energy, which you won't need to for the first bit, or your gem mine if you're gonna play for 100 days. If you're not gonna play for 100 days and maybe this is just something for the first couple months for you, totally fine. I'm not offended. Use them on your energy, don't use them on anything else. Buying sacred shards is not worth it with your gems. It's a freaking trap. I'm telling you, it's a trap. It's a trap. All right, guys. All right, guys, for all being here in the next one.